Yeah, the same man.
The same man who want for you to go steal.
Yeah, he called me on the 18th.
Yeah.
Now we're in the around about 8:30. The man called me. He said, "Oh, my man, I'll let you be there and call you by again."
So that time you go to where?
I go to where?
You live in a working place, you come to the man.
Yeah, I'm from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now?
No, I'm not go steal. I go steal. I go to yeah. How you question me, man? The thing you want for me to explain for you to understand, then you still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I say.
When I call you in the night now.
When a man call me in the night.
Yeah.
He asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
He told the man, say, you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
the man said, he want to give you what tea?
Tea. Hot milk tea. Hot milk tea.
Oh, milk tea?
Yeah.
For you to drink?
With bread.
With bread.
3 pieces of bread.
With egg inside?
With egg inside my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say, carry it to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food man give you now, you carry it so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say, thank you. I say, okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right across. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now?
Yeah, the same man.
And the man tell you say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say, clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In the Jeep?
In the Jeep. Then they are 2.
A big Jeep, oh?
Yeah. Black BG. 4 doji.
4 doji.
Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all inside?
No. Papi, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the whole town now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people like I come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you double in the question, you say when I move from here, I'll free. You say when I move from here, I'll free. You said one talk again. I wanted to make a whole talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, looking, then you want force another more word there again. Why not be looking to the talk? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office, I go explain.
I think you explain to me that you come to get fair. You say you carry tea to the man. After you carry tea to the man, you come now. So what next now?
For me, I will not fair.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, there's explain things. Say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then
do. Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
I said I can take time
to explain. Okay.
You say rest your brought dirty rest in the country. Your caution.
I asked somebody rest yesterday. Not a dirty rest.
But what you say, you say the people in the plaza you say that you pull it do now. So I don't expect you to say anything otherwise.
When I hear somebody telling me that Gifty was making love to Peters in the car, only Jesus can tell me that I will accept. Only Jesus. No CID, NSA, FBI report will make me to accept it. No kind of a report will make me to agree that Gifty Lamar was in the car on Broad Street having sex. Whereas when we went there, I was there when police opened that vehicle. We noticed that there was sand in her shoes. So the Broad Street play got sand now. Broad Street got sand. Where part of Broad Street is sand coming from? I refuse to accept that. Anybody wants to get angry with me, let them get angry with me. I refuse it any day, anytime. Gifty Lamar never died on Broad Street. She died somewhere else. They were brought on Broad Street. I say so. I, Solomon Claudius George.
Musa Belete stole 180,000 in tax money from the Liberian government, for which he was dragged to court. 2012, he was announced convicted. This is the man also condemned by FIFA as a fraudster. This is the man who is in the midst of the CPP, and the CPP is not throwing what I call a cordon sanitaire around him. Now, if you have a guy who is a potential contaminant and you have it in your midst, what do you think will happen? He will contaminate everybody. This man is a walking corruption virus. Anything he comes in contact with anything he touches, he contaminates. The CPP will be contaminated very soon. Because my own Liberty Party is now contaminated. People in the Liberty Party who took Peacock responsibility today, they are defending him up and down the country.
The People's Liberation Party, through the National Executive Committee and the GAC, has with immediate effect suspended for time indefinite and to face the Grievance and Ethics Committee for the investigation for their respective actions. Those suspended and removed are Mr. Jerry K. Colley, former chairman, Bon County, suspended. Mr. Mohammed A. Billity, former chairman, Margibi County, suspended. Mr. J. Emmanuel Green, former chairman, Grand Cape County, suspended. Mr. Oscar Holmes, former chairman, Bombay County, suspended. Mrs. Evelyn Yakoli Morris, former chair, Nimba County, suspended. Mr. Ibrahim Sharif, former chair, Monserrate County, removed.
The matter will be settled. Tapo Ido now politicians, DJ Blue now politicians. So I am not suspended by the body of our constitution. Anybody that is suspended, go to court. They are first county chairperson. Conventions held in Royal Margibi County. I was the head of the delegate, and the delegate came from the 15 counties. Those that were elected from the convention, before the convention, to serve as delegate, to elect our official of the party. They are the legitimate chairperson. Everyone to one district, before you told one somebody from there, say who wants to say you want to be contesting, then you say you are Monserrate County chair. Then you do it to rob the president of the Republic of Liberia.
Founders Unification Party, so calls for the immediate suspension or dismissal and subsequent prosecution of latest boss Professor Francis Ware and his deputies Lawrence George and Wilbur Smith, waiter and rest of the current state. The recent LSC report is yet another testimony to how common criminals and fortune hustlers have taken over the state and are looting the state on an industrial scale.
As of today, Thursday, March 16, 2023, student politics on all UA campuses are hereby suspended until further notice.
But there was a player in the United Kingdom, in England, called Maguire, who was playing for Manchester United. Harry Maguire. He's a defender. He was tackling everybody and throwing his bodies everywhere, that he was seen as the best defender in the world. Manchester United went and bought him. He became the biggest threat at the center of Manchester United's defense, tackling Manchester players and giving assist to opponents. Mr. Speaker, when even the opponents fail to score, Maguire will score for them.
Okay, folks, a very good evening or good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. We are the official voice of Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation. We're beaming live and direct from the nation's capital, Monrovia. Today is Friday. Today is May 12, 2023. What a pleasant way to welcome you to the weekend presentation of the Hard Talk on today. Okay, so once again, good afternoon and welcome to the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. Now, man, for the feedback you're experiencing in the background. I would love to say good afternoon. This is the weekend presentation of the program where we talk all of the hard talk about Liberia, all of those burning issues in country. We discuss, provide you factual analysis, and afford you the opportunity to weigh in and give us your own take as well. Like I told you, today is Friday, it's a weekend. The weekend starts today. Today is May 12, 2023. And so from just wherever you are joining us, whatever you're doing at the moment, we'd love to say good afternoon and welcome to the program. My name is Theo Williams. My colleague is Anthony Jeffan Jr. Jundley. We are on this edition together between 9 to 6 with lots of interesting developments of the day. Very shortly on the first segment of the show, folks, we'll be talking about the action of a legal practitioner in Councillor Johnny Momot against businesswoman Marie Nelum. We talk about his brutal action. We read out the statement from the civil society organization that was captured in the In Profile Daily newspaper. That will be our first segment of the program. We talk about that exclusively and afford you the opportunity to weigh in. Then at 5 o'clock, we take a break. 5:05, we will transition to talk about the press conference yesterday by the Youth League of the ruling Coalition for Democratic Change. They spoke tough on yesterday about former Vice President, current standard bearer of the Opposition Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph Yoman Boaka. So that's the lineup for you. Invite a friend to listen because it's a jam-packed presentation. You wouldn't want to miss out on it. Invite a friend to just keep glued to the radio as we talk about all of the issues lined up in this presentation. This wonderful Friday afternoon in Maneuver. Once again, this is Theo Williams. My colleague is Anthony Jeffan Jr. shortly. We'll begin the conversation, but let me stop over to my professional colleague and say good afternoon, happy weekend. It's good to be here again, Anthony. Another Friday, another presentation.
Yeah, Theo. Good afternoon, and it's always a pleasure being on the show, particularly when there are major issues to talk about. And so we are here once again to dray you through, you our listeners, our regular followers. We're here to dray you through. You've heard it, my name is Anthony, but then you have to follow us on Facebook. Facebook, follow us on ABC Radio 105.1 official. And so you will be following us live. You can leave your comment on our live feed. We are going to read it out later on the show as we conclude on this first talking point. And then you can also follow us on Radio King. Follow us online on Radio King. Download the Radio King app and search for ABC Radio Official 105.1. So we can all do it together. But stay with us. Let's move on together and share our views on issues that are pertinent to the survival of Liberia.
Great. And so what do we have on the plate today for our wise words or motivation, if you will?
So this one, our wise words, it says, our days are happier when we give people a bit of our heart rather than a piece of our mind. Our days are happier when we give people a bit of our heart rather than a piece of our mind.
Okay, what does that indicate, Anthony?
And so
I'm trying to process.
Yes, so
the wise word of the day. I'm still finding it difficult to.
So this is how I understand
actually
this,
learn.
right? I say when we give a bit of our heart, that is, you don't give your entire heart to a person.
All right.
You don't hope on somebody entirely.
You don't trust 100%. Right?
Yes. So you hoping, maybe you expect something from somebody, but with the hope, creating. Sometimes people can say, always create room for disappointment. With the hope that it is also possible that I don't get what I'm waiting for, what I'm requesting for, or what I'm hoping to get from this person. And so, if you do,
it wouldn't be a problem for you.
No,
It means you didn't give somebody your whole heart.
Yes, but when you give
and
them
they let you down,
a piece of your mind, it means you can be broken at all times.
I got it. Yeah. That's a wonderful piece, Antonin.
And so Marcus Aurelius says on the other one, whoever values peace of mind and the health of the soul will live the best of all possible lives.
Whoever values peace of mind and the health of the soul will live the best of all possible lives.
Right.
Wow. What a great one. Wonderful motivation. Wonderful wise words of the day, folks. It's a regular segment on the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. Once again, welcome to the program, all of you who are heading home this wonderful afternoon. You're in the traffic somewhere. We want to say take it easy. Just remain in the queue. If there's a queue, go home in peace and not pieces. Avoid using the shoulders of the road. Just abide by all of those rules and regulations given you by the traffic police. Be a law-abiding citizen. Yes, go home in peace and not pieces.
Yeah.
Go home bumper to bumper, somebody will say.
Listen to what the police will instruct you to do.
Yeah, and as you drive, don't speed, man. It's not driving. Speed is not driving.
Don't drink and drive.
Yes.
There are rules here. You don't have to even speed. Take your time to move. Because you go home, whatever the case may be, no matter what happens,
you're going home.
You get home. Even if
you need not to rush. You're going home. You're going to relax home.
Even if you're walking from here, EAW Junction, maybe
you will still reach.
I'm thinking that you will try that one day. You will still reach home successfully.
No, man. Go out those days, man. We do those things.
No, man,
we did those things during the war.
That exercise.
No, what exercise? Go out those days. Come here. We did all of those during the war, during the heydays of the civil conflict. I recall we walked from my family walked from Capital Bypass Warren Community to Nuku Town. Imagine.
Yeah, but that's a short distance to you.
Nuku Town.
We walked from Chikizu Factory Golf.
I'm talking about doing it April 6, 1996.
Up to Red Light. We walked from Sino to River Cess. Yes.
Well, you not walk through Jim.
Yeah. So that's how it
come
is.
here, walk through.
That's the kind of walking we've done. Yeah. No. On a very serious note, I don't want us to use walking, but on a very serious
walking
note,
for issue for you.
I walk very long distances, right?
Yeah.
From my hometown in Sino to go to Greenville is a day and a half. If you can walk, it's a 2 days walk. But then we've used 1 day from my town to reach Greenville. We started walking from 6 o'clock in the morning. We go to Greenville at about 7 going to 8 in the evening.
Wow.
There's a place called Tro. From my place to go there is about 9 hours. My uncle and I, we woke up one morning, 5 o'clock. We started. We used 8 hours because we didn't rest. We walked. And so the issue of walking, man, you said you now walk for any good time, man.
Yes, folks, we're just trying to make you feel part of the program this afternoon. You know, it's the weekend. We want to de-stress all of our listeners across the world.
So before you introduce our
Liberia
topic,
and other parts.
Before you introduce our topic, tomorrow is my little daughter's birthday. I'm a father of many children, and so Theo, you won't believe she's turning 2 years tomorrow.
Wow.
Just call and ask her when your birthday. She will tell you 13. Tomorrow is May 13. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'd like to say happy birthday to little Joyful 9. Happy birthday in advance as we celebrate on tomorrow. One of my friends' birthday today, Sarafina Nyakun, she's dead in Cardwell. Happy birthday to you as well. Well, let's move on to you.
Yes, great. Invite a friend to come on because this presentation of the Hard Talk promises to be great. It promises to be firing and, of course, entertaining, if I would say, Anthony.
Right.
Interestingly, lawyers are expected to be examples in the usage of the law in resolving conflicts, Anthony. And it beats our imagination, or it beats my imagination for a well-known lawyer and Councillor Johnny Momo to have
I
caused.
want to also read a story.
I'm coming. We'll get there.
Thank you.
It beats my imagination for a well-known lawyer and Councillor Johnny Momo to have caused so much psychological and emotional pain for a Liberian woman who was his serious fiancée for over 8 years.
Okay.
Over 8 years. I'm sure all of us know Madam Marie Nellam, a renowned Liberian businesswoman.
Yes. The CEO of.
I stand to be corrected. Marie is the only importer of
The sole distributor.
yes,
importer
Jin
and
John,
distributor
Jin
of
John,
Yes.
in like the Chinese herbal drink.
Yes.
I stand to be corrected, but I'm sure she's the only person who is importing and distributing Jin John across Liberia. So, interestingly, Anthony, the civil society organization did a release that was captured in the In Profile Daily newspaper about the actions of this well-known counselor and Councillor Johnny Momo against a Liberian woman, a mother, Madam Marie Nellam. I just want to read what is being captured in this paper. What has been captured? I just want to read for the audience so that they know exactly the entire story. Right? I was just reading through this morning and it caught my attention. What attracted me most to this thing to talk about it is because the person in question, Anthony, is a lawyer.
Yes.
Somebody who is cognizant of the laws of Liberia, somebody who should be law abiding, somebody who should be a respecter of the laws of this country.
Yes.
To have gone the way he went. I mean, it beats all of us imagination for a lawyer.
And sometimes people will say
to perform in that manner and form.
Sometimes you listen to somebody say this happened.
Yeah, but let me just read.
Who is the doer?
Let me just read what is captured in the In Profile Daily newspaper. Today is May 12th. Today is Friday, the Friday edition of the paper. It says the Civil Society Network of Liberia, CSNL, has expressed condemnation and disappointment in Councillor Johnny Momo for humiliating and demeaning Madam Marie Nellam, his fiancée, for over 8 years. It can be recalled that on December 11, 2022, Councillor Momo led a group of thugs and notorious guys at the home of Madam Nellam, broke into her house, threw all of her belongings into the streets while she was away to do her COVID vaccine. The reckless and irresponsible action by Councillor Momo led Madam Nellam losing several of her belongings, including US $500,000 worth of jewelry, clothes, and money amounting to US 75,380. In euros, is about 3,000 euros, and in CFA, something like that, it's about 5,000. According to the release, Madam Nellam took Councillor Johnny Momo to court for remedy in recovering her lost belongings and money. Having investigated the issue, the Civil Society Network of Liberia sees Councillor Johnny Momo action against his fiancée as not only an intrusion into her privacy, but attack on the rights of women. The CSNL maintained that Councillor Momo inflicted psychological and emotional violence against Madam Marie Nellam. It was utterly unprofessional, unethical for Councillor Momo to have ignored the use of the law and led gangsters at the home of Madam Nellam to throw her things or her belongings into the streets. This was highly unspeakable and horrifying for Councillor Momo, who has served for many years in the legal field. I just told you that, right? CSNL says it has investigated and established that the basis of Councillor Momo's ridiculous action against Madam Marie Nellam is unjustifiable and insubstantial, being his long-term fiancé, Councillor Momo sent US $52,000 to Madam Marie Nellon while she was on a business expedition in China for her to purchase gin John drinks to import them to Liberia for business purpose. Records and information provided by Madam Marie Nellon show how she bought 2,000 cartons of gin John in China and imported them to Liberia, having spent 12,000 in freight charges. She gave US 20,000 cash to Councillor Momo and invested US 45,000 in the reopening of Councillor Momo's nightclub in Broadville, Wanwusu. She later gave 10,000 to Councillor Momo as continuation of payment to him. In apparent disregard for their relationship, Councillor Momo tormented Madam Marie Nellon to the extent that she was allegedly being regularly haunted by witchcraft. She explained that she regularly saw strange things in her dreams, and physically she saw a dead owl before her house. The release went on to say that the Civil Society Network of Liberia wants to make it crystal clear that Councillor Johnny Momo's action is a shame and disgrace to the law profession. Lawyers are expected to be examples in the usage of law in resolving conflicts. It beats our imagination for a well-known lawyer in Councillor Johnny Momo to have caused so much psychological and emotional pain for a Liberian woman who was his serious fiancée for over 8 years. What much more painful is that Madam Marie Nellon spent US 90,000 on the construction of the house from which she was thrown out by Councillor Momo. Councillor Momo was heartless and inhuman to have treated a woman that stayed with him for over 8 years and released further, I beg your pardon. Consequently, the Civil Society Network of Liberia calls on the Broadville Magistrates Court to do an expeditious and impartial hearing of Madam Marie Nellon's case against Councillor Momo. The Liberian lady has suffered too much pain and needs speedy justice. And so, folks, that's it, folks. This was captured in the In Profile Daily newspaper. It was released
and
from the Civil Society Network of Liberia.
Yes.
What concerns me most is for a lawyer, Anthony.
So Tio, I listened to the statement read, right? But then, sometimes there is a common saying that people normally use that when a particular person, a certain group of people get involved with certain thing, you listen to somebody saying you should have known better. And so that word, you should have known better, means that, no matter what happened, you of all person should not be the one in the direction, because you should be questioning people instead of expecting people to question you with this. And so I'm saying this to say, when you look at the release indicated that Madam Marie spent some huge amount of money,
invested a lot
for a house she was later thrown out of. And so the question is, you are into a relationship with a woman, and many a times we take advantage, we men, we take advantage of the weaknesses of women. And sometimes, because this woman feel that, I love him, I will do anything so we can come up. And so when we come up, sometimes we push them away, and pushing it away, we don't want them to have a fair share of what they suffer for. We want to take it alone. Maybe in a case where the woman say, no, that my husband I trust him, then everything go in his name. And then we take advantage of that. But here is it. A counselor, when we start to talk about human right, women right,
domestic violence,
gender-based violence. Those are people, lawyers are people who will be interpreting to us what the law says about gender-based violence,
exactly,
what the law says about domestic violence, what the law says about all of those forms of violence against women. They are the ones that will be explaining to us. Now, when a lawyer is involved with such a thing, then who asked the lawyer the question? And so there, you ought to know better come about. But again, we are in a country where we have people who do things and they go scot-free. And sometimes because they feel their alignment to a particular group of people,
connections,
their connection to a particular person, or maybe in the larger society, in government and other private institutions, they do things and they feel nothing will come out. But mind you, anytime, and I have one person who believes this, anytime you take advantage of a weaker vessel, that vessel will not react because it is weaker, it is weak. But the aftermath will surprise yourself. The aftermath will go after you. And at that time, you will want to reconsider it. You will want to revisit your decision. And maybe you want to apologize to that vessel, but it will be late. In the case of Councillor Momo, you know, when I saw the story, I was like, in these things, Theo, you will only see the civil society in the world of Liberia is not women alone. So, if you see in this group, it's a reputable group.
Of course, it's a conglomeration of
civil society organizations.
Yeah, civil society actors.
Yes.
So independent minds.
It is a serious group. They are not being used. They were never. In fact, they are not a group of people
Anthony,
that will allow somebody to use them.
The statement captured in this local daily is a strong worded statement. It explains everything. And mind you, this thing has been happening for some time now. And as I speak to you, this entire saga has gone viral across social media. And so because it went viral on social media and other areas, other outlets, that's how this particular group got into the whole picture.
And before Theo,
that's how other groups,
before they come out,
got into the picture.
Before they come out, they always investigate.
Of course. According to what I read, this particular group launched an investigation, went in depth and gathered all of the facts, all of the pieces of evidence, as far as this whole matter is concerned.
You see that.
So what is interesting here now is for a lawyer, somebody who took up the time, went to law school, claimed to understand the rule of law, understand best practices when it comes to law or making sound judgments, sound decisions. You come to realize that this person will behave in this manner and form. I'm going to tell you what, you can have a girlfriend, you can have a wife, right? And before you spend whatever time you spend together. And if you guys are having issues, if the relationship can no longer hold, it does not give you any right to inflict wounds, to inflict pains against or on that person. No, you have no right. Absolutely no right.
No.
There are options. You can choose to quietly walk away.
You walk away.
You can choose to pursue whatever you want to pursue through the rule of law or legally, then to use the other approach.
Yeah, that is.
And so that was the path Councillor Momo took as a legal practitioner.
Call people on a woman you stay with for a couple of years.
That was the path he took.
A woman with no hesitation.
And it's quite unfortunate.
It's
quite, like you mentioned, Anthony, sometimes people do things to people in this country based on their connection. Their connections.
Yes.
Oh, I can do this to Anthony, nothing will come out of it.
What will come out of it?
Because you feel you are well connected.
Yes.
You have maybe the means to place phone calls all over the place and things will happen for you instantly.
Maybe you,
so you take advantage of other people.
You in alignment
and not
with
in all cases,
society,
Anthony.
other thing, yes.
Not in all cases.
No, not everyone.
Not in all cases.
Yes.
Anybody who knows Marie will tell you that Marie is a strong businesswoman, a very hard-working woman. I've never seen someone so dedicated to what they do as compared to Marie. Very dedicated. Very, very dedicated in all she does. So for the counselor who is in the practice of law,
who should be advising clients.
So in this case, the question is, what will you tell your clients? If you have a client who is in such a situation or other situation,
what will you do?
What will be your advice to that client?
But you
what will you say
the same thing.
So when you are in the same boat?
You're doing the same thing that you should be advising your client not to do.
So Anthony, these things should not be happening in our society. People should not take advantage of people because of that connection, because of what they can do, what they are capable of doing. No, that should not be the case always in our society. So right now, this group is calling for justice to be dispensed impartially. Meaning, the right things should be done.
So that the court get in.
Let the law
go into
be
it.
the law.
When Marie is wrong, well, found guilty.
There are claims here, Anthony. There are claims. As we speak, I'm told Councillor Momo is in the possession of huge sum of money, including jewelries that belongs to Madam Marie Nelum.
Okay.
On grounds that he bought those things and those things were purchased using his cash. So come to think about this, right? You have a girlfriend here and you spent X, Y, Z number of years together. Maybe you bought your girlfriend a car, or probably you bought her a new phone or something. And you bought her long ago. Or things you bought her because you guys are in a relationship.
And you leaving her.
And you leaving her, you won't take it from her.
And you take it from her.
Who does that? Who does that?
So all of our services you render to you, you pay for it.
Who does that?
You know, I one person who believe in when you misbehave, let it be reciprocated to you. Get the benefit of misbehavior.
That was being heartless and inhuman against a woman.
Wicked.
Against a female. You can do that.
To the highest degree.
Councillor Momo went to the home in the absence of Madam Marie Nelum. Collected guys. I saw the video on social media, Antolin. I saw the video on social media.
Okay.
Collected group of guys, went to the home of Marie, where they were living now. The fact of the matter is, the home is his home, right?
Yes.
But she was able to probably reconstruct or rehabilitate that entire environment or the entire home
with the love
because of the connection, because of the relationship. She did everything. So even if you wanted her to leave the home, Anthony, that should not have been the approach.
Of course.
That was not the appropriate step to take as a legal person.
Yes.
That is my argument.
Yes. To an extent, you call people on her.
That is my argument.
What are you talking about?
That is my argument. As a legal person, you must have a clear understanding of the rule of law. You must operate in the confines of the rule of law. Not to do things out of the way as a legal practitioner. What example will you be setting? What will you tell your clients, like my colleagues here? What will you tell your clients? What will you tell your clients? It's quite unfortunate for a legal practitioner to behave in that manner of form. It's unfortunate. So the case is now before the Broadway Magisterial Court, and it is expected that the court will hear the case accordingly and dispense justice appropriately. Void of sentiments, void of intimidations, and void of everything you can think about. This country, many times people question the judicial system. Nobody wants to go to court because probably somebody will feel that going to court, you will not have justice because it is perceived that once you don't have money, you don't have connection in this country. I mean, you will always encounter problem. You might not be served justice properly because you don't have connections. You don't have what it requires. You don't have the capital to fight. That is the perception about the judicial system in this country. So, all eyes are on the Broadview Court, Magisterial Court, to ensure that this matter is properly adjudicated and the matter will reach a logical conclusion, void of connections, void of whatever, void of who know you, void of positions. This matter is expected to be well adjudicated by the court. The court will decide. If the court cannot handle, they will transfer them to the bigger courts to handle the matter. But the fact of the matter is, justice must be dispensed. A lawyer cannot behave in that manner and form and use his legal, position to want to intimidate someone, to want to inflict wounds, psychological pain on somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. It's wrong. I mean, these are things we're not shy away from talking. We will say these things void of fear, not favor. We will say these things. We will say these things just as it is. We'll say them. The law must be the law. Besides this guy being a counselor, there are people here who are in other positions, who are in government as well, who take advantage of the law, take advantage of other people because of their connection, because of their status in society. These things should not be happening, folks. You go to other countries, you see the way people behave, you see people have respect for the rule of law, you admire that so much. Let those things be translated back home. It is about time the Liberians will have confidence in their own justice system. Nobody will hurt you, and then you say, I will just leave it because I get money, because nobody know me. That has been the perception over the years. I've heard many persons say that to me. Where you get a man? You can't get a man nowhere. The man is connected. That should not be the order of the day in Liberia, folks. That should not be the order of the day. That should not be the order of the day. Let's try to set standards. Let's try to set example. So this case will be, if I will say, a litmus test for the Broadview City Magisterial Court. We are looking at this. Liberians are watching. This identical group, the Civil Society Network, is also watching. And we will look out for the outcome of this case. Councillor Momo tread the wrong path, and he must face the weight of the law regardless of his status as a legal person. You cannot be a legal person and be acting reckless and be acting outside the law because you feel you have connections, because you feel you have money, or because you feel you are connected and you do things and go scot-free. No. No. If you wanted this woman to leave your premises or your house, you should have waited for her. Call other people. You got family. She has family. Call people together. Talk about it. I mean, you can harmonize it. If it cannot be harmonized, then ask her to leave quietly. But you cannot throw her things out in her absence. As a legal person, you're supposed to know the law. And you are taking her money, you seizing her belongings on the basis of you the one bought them. After a relationship for over 8 years. We are talking about a counselor called Johnny Momo. Look, in this country, people take advantage of people in so many ways because they feel they are connected. I continue to say this, and it should not be happening. No. I can't say that as a journalist and take advantage of other people because I have the radio. No, that is not professional. It's not even the right way to operate. That I'm a journalist, I will go out there and do things to people, then I come on the radio and use the microphone, use the airwaves to defend or to defame other people because I feel I'm a journalist. No. that is being unethical and unprofessional. Councillor Momo should be aware fully of his ethics as a legal person. You cannot do things outside the law as a legal person. That it questions your status as a lawyer. How did you become a lawyer? People will start to question you when you will behave in that manner and form. Who will you even advise as a client? What legal argument will you prefer? Those are questions that will come to mind. You know, having read all of what is happening, you come to realize that this man is a lawyer. Someone will be like, what? Is he a lawyer? Is he truly a lawyer? These are things that happen. We just start to flag this afternoon just so that you know exactly what is happening. So that you know people take advantage of people in this country because of their status, because of what they know, because of their profession, because they are connected, and just go scot-free. These things should not be happening in our society. Legally, professionally, it is wrong. I'm not a lawyer, I don't pretend to be one, but you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know certain common things, certain common practices in law. You don't have to be a lawyer or a rocket scientist to be able to make a clear determination on some of these things. No, you don't have to. Common sense can tell you. Common sense can tell you. You don't do that. It's unethical. It's unprofessional on your part as a lawyer. Somebody will argue which law school you went to. Sometimes you embarrass the rest of your colleagues who are practicing professionally, who are living up to professional ethics. You embarrass them because of your action. They put all of you in one part, which is wrong. In this country, you have professional lawyers. We have a group of people here who are professional. We know some of them. We know them. People who are living by professional ethics. People who tread their entire life or professional life in the right path. Who live professionally. We know them. But again, in every organization, in every institution, you have bad apples. People like us that are more than the bad apple in the legal profession. I'm telling you. How can a lawyer take the law in his hands? You're not Anthony at law, you're not law student, but you're a counselor at law. Counselor. It means you should be fully knowledgeable. You should be able to make sound decisions. You should be able to make sound judgments. At that level, in law, you should be highly knowledgeable. You are a counselor at law, and you behave in that manner and form. Unprofessional, unethical. That was how you behave, Councillor Momo. So the matter is before the Broadway Magisterial Court, pending adjudication. So we're watching. Our eyes are open, our ears are open. We want to know how this thing will end up in the final analysis. We just start to weigh in on that so that these things can stop happening in our society, so that other people stop taking advantage of other people because they are connected, they are grounded. Nobody can do anything. Marie is a very peaceful woman, hardworking, highly business-minded. She's an independent woman. Anybody who knows Marie will tell you. To have treated her in that manner and form as a counselor, I think you err, Councillor Momo. To save your face and to save the legal profession, save your colleague. I mean, you can do the honorable thing. It doesn't matter if you go back to her and apologize. I mean, for some of those things you did, some of the pains you inflicted, the wounds you inflicted, you can take them back and have a dialogue. You can have a dialogue. So I will rest on this matter, folks. Like I told you, we've been watching, we're looking up to see how it's going to end out in the final analysis. Our eyes are open. And this particular group, the Civil Society Action Network, or Civil Society Network of Liberia, CSNL, has vowed to follow this matter until it reaches a logical conclusion. And we ourselves, as media people, will follow it to the letter to ensure that it ends the right way. Whoever will have the day as per what the law will say, fine. But the fact of the matter is, or the point is, you cannot be in such position. You cannot be a certain level and you want to come down low. Sometimes we do these things not knowing the consequences. Like my colleague mentioned, you can't do it to everybody every time and just go free. Some people you bother with, it can be your last bus stop. So let me rest here and take some calls. I'm sure all of you out there, perhaps most of you might have monitored or followed this thing on Facebook. Marie has been vocal about this, and it's been trending on social media. I'm sure most of you have followed. Maybe you want to weigh in, or perhaps you want to just sit back and relax. Well, it's up to you. But those of you who want to participate, you can call us on those numbers: 0777 105 100, 0555 105 100. And you'll be live on the first segment of the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. My name is Theo Williams. My colleague is Anthony Q. Jeffan Jr. John Lee. We are bringing you this edition. Today is Friday. It's the weekend. And we just thought to put a spotlight on that because it's catching. It was captured in the front page of the In Profile Daily newspaper. So let's hear from you. If any of you out there monitoring us, you want to weigh in, it is your time now to participate. We've said a lot about this whole thing. We read the entire story. We read the position of the Civil Society Network of Liberia, the CSNL. What have you to say? You are out there in regular monitoring. Maybe you want to weigh in. Let's hear from you on those numbers: 0777 105 100, 0555 105 100, and be live on the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. We're talking about the action of Councillor Johnny Momoh against his fiancée for over 8 years, Marie Nellam. This story was captured in the In Profile Daily newspaper, and a group under the banner Civil Society Network of Liberia raised this concern that was captured in this local daily. So if there's no call, then we will take a break. Following the break, we come back on the second and final lap of the show. Then we will get on to the next talking point on the Hard Talk this afternoon on ABC Radio 105.1, 0777 105 100, 0555 105 100, and you'll be certainly live on the Hard Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. Let's take this break to be right back. This break.
But there was a player in the United Kingdom, in England, called Maguire, who was playing for Manchester United. Harry Maguire. He's a defender. He was tackling everybody and throwing his bodies everywhere, that he was seen as the best defender in the world. Manchester United went and bought him. He became the biggest threat at the center of Manchester United's defense, tackling Manchester players and giving assists to opponents. Mr. Speaker, when even the opponents failed to score, Maguire will score for them.
get brave heart to go see to the main store.
Oh, so the man wanted for you to go steal from the web post store.
Yeah. He said I'm joining to go see to the web main store to they get money into the store there, go take it from there. I said, my man, I only buy for the same lecture.
Then how can the police catch you now?
The police people. Before the man call me back, now on the 18th, they more.
The same man now?
Yeah, the same man.
The same man who want for you to go steal?
Yeah, he called me on the 18th.
Yeah.
Now in the around about 8:30, the man called me. He said, oh, my man, I'll let you be there and call you back again.
So that time you go to work?
I go to work.
You live from your working place, you come to the man?
Yeah, from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now?
No, I don't go steal. I go Steve. I mean, I go to yeah. How you question me, man? The thing you want for me to explain, for you to understand, then you still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I see.
When they call you in the name,
when the man call me in the name, he asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
Told the message you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
the message you want to give you what?
Tea. Hot milk tea. Hot milk tea.
Oh, milk tea?
Yeah.
For you to drink?
With bread.
With bread.
3 pieces of bread.
With egg inside?
With egg inside, my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say carry to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food man give you now, you carry that so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say thank you. I say okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right across. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now.
Yeah, the same man.
The man tell you say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In the Jeep.
In the Jeep. Then they are 2.
A big Jeep.
Yeah. Black BG. 4 doji.
4 doji.
Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all inside.
No, Papa, you can't wait for me to spin. I'll leave the water now. But you can judge people.
I just asking you questions, sorry.
You can judge people like you can't hear.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you drop in the question, can I say when I move from here, I'll free? Can I say when I move from here, I'll free?